Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs, your host for this evening. With me, as always, my co-host, Zan Sprouse, who is also with you this evening.
We're both with you.
We're both with you in spirit, somewhere.
May the host be with you and also with your spirit.
May the giant be with you. Oh, wait, we did that episode.
We did that one. That's
Never mind. So, welcome back to Ghostwood. Ready to talk some Twin Peaks again as we continue our commentaries of Season 2. As we pick up this time with episode 43, Coma.
Coma. Which sounds like
Coma!
it sounds like it should have an exclamation point after it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like, Coma!
Like an Irwin Allen production or something like
Right.
that.
And then some, like, kind of very dated late 50s, early 60s movie music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, with lots of strings.
Overly dramatic and, dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But, so we're going to talk about Coma, which has got what I think is probably Twin Peaks' most frightening moment.
You're
Later-
probably right.
Late in the
yeah.
episode, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that.
It's pretty bad.
It is
Yeah,
pretty bad.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff, eh, kids?
Scary stuff, kids.
As once we're in Halloween season. It's like
We are.
it's like October 18th, so get into the scary vibe, and this is a perfect episode for that. Really,
I feel like Halloween's getting away from me. I haven't decorated the house, and
you're not your usual Halloweeny self.
I'm just not getting enough done in the time allotted. So
Do we need to send Jack Skellington over, or so they can do this is Halloween, Halloween.
no, I feel like I wait all year for this, and then it always slips by me too fast.
Oh, I see.
It's terrible. It's that kind of thing.
It just sneaks up behind you and just like
It sneaks up on you, and then all of a sudden, like when you have a trip planned, or
Yeah.
you have something, or you have company coming, and you're thinking, oh yeah, okay, that's gonna happen, and then all of a
Right.
sudden you're like, oh my god, it's today.
So do you have a costume lined up this year?
I don't.
Wow,
That's the thing.
you're dropping the ball.
I'm dropping the ball. Do you have a costume lined up?
I never have a costume lined up.
Okay, well.
I go as God every year. No, I do what like on Buffy, where with what's his face, that he the character Oz gets like one of those "Hello, my name is" stickers,
Yes.
and he writes God in big block letters.
That's a good
and
one.
puts it on. And so yeah.
My
Which
friend
I may
Emily-
end up doing because our work is actually having a costume thing this year.
Nice. I like that.
So I may do that as my way to get around that. Although I do have my Ninth Doctor costume if I need it.
Just you have it waiting in the wings.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's a black leather jacket with like black slacks, and I got my sonic screwdriver, and I'm good to go. And I have like a pullover thing, and it's good to go.
Fantastic.
So fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So
I have one that is sort of my go-to, my standby when I haven't planned anything.
Yeah.
But I did it last year, so I can't do it again. I have a years ago at Hot Topic.
Right.
I bought a Freddy sweater.
Oh, very cool.
And I'm not going to go through all the prosthetic makeup kind of a thing, but I have like a Freddy glove.
Oh, okay.
So what I do is I just put on brown pants,
Yeah.
and my Freddy sweater, and then I put my hair in pigtails.
Okay.
And I go as the hall monitor from Nancy's Dream at the beginning of
That's clever.
the first movie. Because that's the thing. It's like when you're a girl and you don't want to do a lot of makeup, you still have this option with the Freddy costume,
Right.
with the Freddy sweater. So
Right. You're not doing the gender bending with Freddy. You're just doing another different character.
well, that's the thing. Is like I don't even mind about the gender bending. It's just the makeup. I mean, my
Right.
friend Troy does the makeup,
Yeah.
and he looks amazing. And so I know I can't full ass it like Troy does. I would only half ass it.
Right.
So I stick with a hall monitor.
There are various degrees of ass.
Yes, and mine is on the lower end of the spectrum of ass.
Well, it's good that you're admitting that.
Yeah, so I do the hall monitor, and everybody's like, so what? I'm like, okay, so the movie, where's screw your pass, no running in the hallway, and that's so for like 3 minutes of screen time, pigtails and a sweater, and there you go, you got it.
Well, one of my favorite costumes that I've seen you in has to be Pam from Archer.
Pam, yeah, that's
Pam Poovey from Archer.
Pam was pretty good, and
that was really good. I like that.
Well, and Chris's Krieger was really good too.
Yeah, it was
Krieger.
Right.
So that's a good one.
Yeah, that was good. So anyway,
so there's somebody from a book I've read, because there was one year I went as River from the Night Circus.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. That was also pretty easy because they wear black and white with a little sprig of red somewhere.
Okay.
I have that kind of clothing in abundance, so it was very easy. So I'll have to think about
the clothing that goes with other clothing.
Perfectly. Yeah, exactly. Or clothing that you already have, or if you do buy something for Halloween, it can. And I always think of Patty and Selma trying to loan clothes to Marge in the episode where she buys that Chanel suit and tries to get into the country club.
Yeah, the one that she keeps cutting up over and over to kind of, because people are tired of seeing her in the same outfit.
To make it look different every time she
yes.
the country club.
And then it just finally falls apart.
Lisa's distracting Marge, and then Marge steps on the pedal of the
that's right. And then she cuts.
Gets eaten by the sewing machine.
Right.
So there's a scene where she goes over to Patty and Selma's for help, and she's like, "We've got classy duds all over the place," and they have her put on this dress that's like red vinyl.
Yeah.
And it's Patty and Selma's size, so like there's like Marge, and then there's like another foot of place for boob.
Right.
But
that's funny.
I forget who it says. I think it's.
It could hold two Marges.
Well, 2 sets of Marge's boobs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Patty or Selma says, this one started out as a Halloween costume, but it made its way into my regular rotation.
That's a good line.
Yeah, so I think of that every time I can, because when I did the River thing, I had like a black and white jacket that I just have. I wore that.
Right.
And then I bought a red infinity scarf to put around it. I'm like, red infinity scarf, I'll wear that again. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it got to make its way into my regular rotation.
Very cool.
So that was fun.
All right. So for those wondering when we're going to talk about some Twin Peaks, don't worry, we'll get there.
It's going to be like
it's my fault. I distracted us.
That's okay.
I got us on the Halloween tangent, which
it's
is
Halloween.
Exactly. So it's a very easy tangent to go on. Zane and I, for anybody wondering, we actually had our Twin Peaks trading card summit.
We sure did
last week, and Zane got a whole bunch of doubles from me.
I did.
But Zan was kind enough to help me finish my base set of 90. So public thanks to you, Zan, for that.
My pleasure. I just thought it was dumb for 2 of us to have incomplete sets.
Because that was like 13 cards short or something like that.
You were like seriously like 9 cards short, I think. It was a very small number that it just would have been stupid for you to not do it.
Right. Well, that's after I had we had 10 packs each.
Do we have 10 or do we have 12? I forget. We had
No. I'm sorry. You're right. It was 12. I stand corrected. You're right, because it was a box of 24.
Yeah, that would be.
We split the box. Each had 12. So yeah. So, and then I lucked out. I got like a Carol Strucken as the giant autograph card.
Did.
I was very happy with that. And then you got the double autograph card.
Yes, the Kimmy Robertson and Harry Gauze double.
Yeah, that was
double autograph
card.
You
got the double gone. Because those double ones are rare, so that's cool.
That one was great.
That's awesome. Very jealous of that. So that was cool. But we got to get your base set finished off.
That's right. So we just got to keep buying boxes of cards.
This is turning into a major investment.
I mean, well,
collecting. I could have bought a car, or I could have bought like this,
or a computer. How's that for being born under a bad sign?
Yeah, exactly. But so stay tuned. Maybe we'll have some more trading card news in the near future. Just kind of wanted to update everybody on that.
It's very fun because it's there's so many different. They have the autograph sets, and then they have those special cards, and then the character cards, and then the autograph cards.
Yeah, you got
So
one of
it's
those rare quote cards.
yeah, that's right.
So that was pretty cool. I don't have any of those, so that's awesome.
So it's not like it's not like you get your base set of 90 and then there's nothing. So even if you're still
Yes,
looking,
right.
there's still even if you get a set of cards that doesn't have any of the base cards you're looking for, you might still find those autograph cards or those special character cards. So it's still fun stuff to find.
Exactly.
So it's not like Charles, I mentioned this to you, the back in the 90s where they did the Star Wars Galaxy cards.
Yes.
Oh my god, I got a whole set except I never ever found a Han Solo
Oh,
ever.
really?
So, yeah. So that got annoying after a while.
I wonder if it's on eBay.
I'm sure it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just haven't bothered looking. I kind of
Yeah,
got out of the mode.
I think Chris had a set because Chris definitely had a full set of the second series because Chris did a card for that one.
Oh, okay, that's
So
cool. I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah, he did. There's a card where because they did that in the first series too, where they had comic artists and
Oh,
other graphic artists who do drawings rather than photos or because it was mostly artwork. It was like Ralph
yeah.
McQuarrie art and paintings and things like that. But yeah, in the second set, Chris did a card. It was Luke making his arm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, making his replacement. Making his replacement hand. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
awesome. Very cool. The and another thing I want to talk about before we get into our episode commentary, really quick. Uh, this since we recorded last, there's a new music video on YouTube that I really liked.
Yep.
Yep, and I shared it with Zan, and she liked it. For those who may or may not have seen it, it's called Chad. And if you're a fan of
Chad.
parody music videos, I'm thinking right off the bat, Weird Al Yankovic's song "Fat,"
Mm-hmm.
which was a parody of Michael Jackson's "Bad,"
Yep.
which Chad is also a parody of because Chad also follows after the Michael Jackson
'Cause
video.
I'm Chad. I'm
And
Chad.
the video is actually pretty faithful to both the Michael Jackson video and Twin Peaks,
Yes,
which is
which is
great.
always that's why Weird Al is such a master of his craft.
Exactly.
Is that he's able to stay true to both the song and the
The spirit of what he's doing.
the spirit of what he's parodying. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. His subject matter.
Yep.
Yeah, and so this is by Steve Lang. I want to give credit where credit's due.
Excellent.
So yeah, just look for the Twin Peaks Chad music video. If you want to check it out, I've posted it on our Facebook page, Ghostwood the Twin Peaks Podcast. You can definitely check it out there.
Sweet.
Or it's on YouTube. And one of the other cool things, in addition to the fact that Steve Lang makes a point of going around to various Twin Peaks locations. So you get the location of, where the Welcome to Twin Peaks sign would have
Yep.
been. Wasn't in that video, but it was the same spot. Or the train trestle bridge where
Mm-hmm.
Ronette Pulaski walked across, or the Double R Diner, which of course, the that iconic location. Yeah,
Tweed's Diner.
Tweed's
Mm-hmm.
Cafe, yeah.
Yep.
So, and then on top of all that, there's a cameo right at the very end, if you go all the way to the end, by John Piricello.
Oh,
Chad Broxford himself.
actually, Chad, very similar to.
Yep. And telling Steve Lang's Chad, "F you, Chad."
Nice.
Which has to be a great moment.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You have the real Chad telling your impersonation, "F you, Chad."
You gotta love it when people who play characters that are hated
Yes.
get into the spirit of hating their characters.
Exactly.
That's always cool.
And there's just lots of great moments where he's just saying like he lives alone and all he has is his pine cone. Just great stuff. I love parody songs, and so definitely I just want to give some credit. And I even posted a comment on his YouTube page. I said, this video has been approved by Ghostwood the Twin Peaks Podcast.
Fantastic.
We hate Chad more than anyone.
We hate Chad.com. We need to look into that.
Hashtag F you, Chad.
Hashtag F you, Chad.
Yeah, exactly. So just want to give a quick shout out. And if you're looking for something fun, and this is pretty clever fan parody. So check it out.
Yep.
All right.
You got to love it when they're done with love.
Yes. And it's one of those videos that makes you like, okay, I want to make one of these.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I love this enough to make these references.
Exactly. So yeah. It's one of those that just definitely inspires you. So hopefully maybe you'll get inspired and you can make one and we'll talk about yours.
And we'll talk about it and we'll give you the Ghostwood seal of approval.
Exactly. We're it's a pretty easy seal of approval to get if we like it.
Well, we're not just handing them out, but
no. We have to like it.
Yes.
So that helps, and we definitely like this video. All right, so let's move on to Coma, the second episode of Twin Peaks Season 2 that aired on October 6th, 1990.
Wow,
we're almost the anniversary date of that.
Yeah, seriously, we just missed it a little bit, but
yeah, just like about 28 years and 12 days from that.
Yep.
Written by Harley Payton, directed by David Lynch.
Always good. Always a pleasure.
So right there, and which probably is why the really arguably creepiest moment in Twin Peaks is the creepiest moment in Twin Peaks.
Probably where that comes from, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This episode also introduces Frances Bay as Mrs. Tremond or Mrs. Chalfont, depending on your point of view. I've heard it both ways.
You know, the people that played that before her were also named Chalfont. Weird, right?
Right. Very weird. So, and we get the introduction of Austin Jack Lynch. Yes, David Lynch's son.
David Lynch's son. Yep.
Which you can tell by the hair because, damn, he has his father's hair.
He sure does. He sure does.
As Pierre, who, he's studying magic.
Studying magic.
And we'll talk about that. So, and then the usual guest cast, of course, including the return of Don Davis's Major Briggs. So, who plays a pretty important part in this episode.
That's the thing, is as the series goes on, you really learn how integral Major Briggs is to this story. He's not just there to...
Yeah, he's not just like an ancillary character.
Right, he's not just there to be the yin to Bobby's yang, you know?
Yeah, because I think probably until this episode, you really just thought, well, okay, he's just like a supporting character to Bobby.
Mm-hmm. Right, he's just sort of...
It was just that...
Bobby exposition for why Bobby is such a rebel.
Or, it gives him that father-son storyline.
Yes.
They start off hating each other and grow closer together.
Exactly.
But here we get a curveball because turns out the Major is not what he seems.
No, he's not. He's got a lot more going on behind the scenes than we realized.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, if you've watched Twin Peaks: The Return, you know what we're talking about. As well, or the rest of the series, really. But yeah, so some stuff there. So, are you about ready, Zan?
I'm ready.
Dive right in?
I'm ready, yep.
Okay, all right. So, for those of you playing at home, we are at around the 1:53 mark, where we had just watched guest starring Miguel Ferrer's name vanish from the screen. And we've got a blank screen showing only the exterior of the Great Northern in daytime. So that's where we are.
Join us, won't you?
Exactly. So if you want to pause this, get it all nice and queued up, and come on back. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
Just love how Albert is so disinterested in breakfast.
Yes. Albert has totally checked out because Cooper's going on about actually a Buddhist tradition. The first King La Thotori Nyan Sen. I'm sure I'm butchering that name, but apparently he really existed.
King Ho Ho Ho.
Yes. The Happy Generations.
Yes, right here in Twin Peaks. I love how he just reaches over and takes a tiny little piece of Cooper's almost cremated bacon, and he looks almost disgusted by it.
Burnt, cremated.
And grapefruits that are freshly squeezed.
And Cooper is just very mellow. He's having his bacon. He's having his orange juice. He's having his coffee. And Albert is just as high-strung as ever, really.
Albert is just like, please, let's just do this. I want to get
Yes.
the hell out of this town again. Oh, what's going on with the autopsy of Jacques Renault? I love this. Beer cans, Maryland license plate, half a bicycle tire, a goat, and a small wooden puppet that goes by the name of Pinocchio. Basically, Albert is fat shaming Jacques Renault, but but we find out that he wasn't strangled; he was smothered by a pillow. Right. So it came from the hospital supply closet. So whoever, there's a barbershop quartet behind them.
Yes, an old timey barbershop quartet, no less.
Yep.
With the straw hats and everything.
And again, they're thinking Leo's good for the murder of Jacques, but we all know that's not true.
So Albert actually asked Cooper, "How do you feel?"
I believe it's customary to ask about one's health after they've been plugged 3 times.
Yeah. I do not understand the question. No.
Yeah. Rural know nothings and drunken fly fishermen. Yes, the world's most decrepit service waiter.
Senor Drool Cup.
Yep, Senor Drool Cup.
Has a mind that wanders,
shall we say. A mind that wanders.
I love that description.
And my ring is gone. That's a problem.
Albert because nobody could have taken a ring off you while you're unconscious.
Albert doesn't seem to think that this is an issue, but it's an issue. Albert is also mentioning that he's back here for a much more sinister purpose.
Now, Albert has just dropped the Wyndham Earl bomb on Cooper.
Dun, 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 dun.
Our very first mention of Wyndham Earl, for those of you keeping score.
Yes. Our very first instance of Wyndham Earl, and we find out that he has escaped from the mental hospital where he is currently imprisoned for killing his wife, Caroline.
And if you remember us talking about Dale Cooper, My Life, My Tapes, we've talked about that.
Yes, we have. This Wyndham Earl becomes a much bigger player in season 2 of Twin Peaks.
Yes. Meanwhile, in the corner, Jonathan Coma guy is reading his paper, but studying Agent Cooper from across the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I've never seen someone drink so much coffee in my life.
Oh my God, how is he not peeing all the time?
Exactly. He must have like the kidneys, granite kidneys.
He must have a bladder the size of a peanut.
Yeah. And here's Donna taking over Laura's Meals on Wheels route.
Oh, and here we're going to find Zan's high school crush from television.
Yep. And no, it's not Austin Lynch.
No, it's not Austin Lynch.
No.
We're not going to see him.
We don't see him in this episode.
No, we don't see him in this episode, but the Meals on Wheels, that's where we meet Harold.
Yep. And you've never forgiven Donna since.
No, I haven't. I'm sorry.
Not that you hold a grudge or anything.
I don't hold grudges. I just never forget.
Yeah. So here's our introduction to Mrs. Tremond.
Mrs. Tremond.
Or Mrs. Chalfont. And Donna comes in to bring this rather kindly old lady some creamed corn.
Creamed corn and creamed corn.
Yep. And watch as Mrs. Tremond almost hacks up a lung.
Yeah, Mrs. Tremond is not particularly healthy lady.
No, or at least she's acting here. We don't know.
Well, yeah.
Because
look at how much he looks like his father.
I know, it's scary.
It's adorable.
Isn't it? And I love his little introduction. It's like sometimes things can happen just like this.
Yep.
Stop.
Good way to be a creepy magician, kid. Cream corn, which she probably realizes is Garmonbozia.
Garmonbozia.
Yeah, that does not look attractive.
No.
I mean,
This is why I will never eat cream corn, by the way.
Oh, this show? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. This puts you off cream corn forever.
Oh, totally. Totally.
It's gone.
And now the cream corn is gone.
Now it's in Pierre's hands.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. He's like
cream corn also, especially here in the Midwest, is sweet a lot of the time. Like corn casserole and cream corn is made with like sweetened condensed milk and stuff like that, and I just don't
Right.
like sweet creamed corn. I think that's gross.
You like a more of a
I
saltiness?
like savory over sweet when it comes to my
Savory, yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except for like desserts, of course.
Right. I say the way I say it is I like my food to be
Yeah.
salty and my dessert. I don't mind if my dessert is somewhat savory, but I want my food to be
Right.
fully savory.
Well, see, that's why I like the dessert because the dessert sweetness of the dessert is supposed to offset the saltiness or savoriness of the
Right.
meal.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Little baby David Lynch.
Yes, exactly. It's like I shall call him Mini Lynch.
Okay, Mrs. Tremont, I'll be back tomorrow and I won't bring cream corn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like leave now.
Yeah. Hospital food. I think this is better. Even the cream corn is even better. Oh, yeah,
Now
go
she,
ask Mr. Smith and then never talk to him again.
yeah. Now she had asked Donna had asked her about whether she knew. Oh, there's the J'ai une âme solitaire.
I am alone.
I'm a lonely soul, or actually, literally translated, I have a lonely soul.
I have a lonely soul, yes.
But for the context, they're putting it in as I am a lonely soul.
Yep. Well, here's what I think is kind of funny about this. She's like, you might talk to Mr.
Oh,
Smith next door.
yeah.
Apparently, this is a neighborhood full of recluses.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of Harold Smith, he's kind of like creeping through the window blinds here.
Yeah, he is.
Donna goes to knock on his door. Tap, tap, tap. Hello, Domino's Pizza.
Hello, Mr. Smith, Harold, man. They're looking at her like,
seemed like a very nice girl.
yeah, but she brought creamed corn. How
I
nice
wanted to see more of that kid.
We
I
do
thought it
for
was
a
really
little bit.
well. We do in Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which kind of makes me feel bad for the kid, you know?
Yeah.
Dear Mr. Smith.
I am breaking up with you. Oh, sorry.
It's not you, it's me. I just need to work on myself for a little bit.
Yeah. I hope we can still be friends.
I still really care about you as a person.
Yep. And peekaboo.
Hi, Harold.
I see you. I love that part.
Oh, Harold. Harold, the crazy, reclusive botanist.
Oh, you crazy agoraphobe, you.
Yep.
That's a technical term for those wondering.
That is the technical term. But yeah, like I said, I think it's funny that there's like this neighborhood in town where it's a bunch of people who are just recluses. Like, oh yeah, he lives next door.
These are the people who couldn't make it into Fat Trout Trailer Park.
Right. Yeah, that was too much of a social requirement.
They're too weird for Fat Trout Trailer Park.
Yeah, exactly.
So apparently there's just the social circles in Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm. Poor Ronette.
And now Cooper and Harry are having trouble with their chairs. Cooper especially because he's going owie, 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 owie.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
Well, yeah. Just give me a few hours to get dressed.
Yeah. And this is obviously a very Lynchian scene because they're taking forever just to figure out some chair stools.
Yep.
When they could be advancing the plot.
Read operate. Maybe you should just talk to Ronette while you're standing because I don't think she's going to be able to say very much to you right now.
Yeah, because
so
Ronette still looks kind of catatonic with her eyes open.
Yeah, she does, just a little bit. Poor thing.
Well, she's been traumatized, so it's
understandable. I feel so bad for Ronette.
Yeah, she did get it pregnant, although we did see her rebound later.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. So she kind of got out of that catatonic state, thankfully.
True. Which is,
Owie, owie, owie.
Considering the fact that even though it didn't happen to her, this is how she is. It just tells you how horrific that night was.
Right. And now Cooper and Harry want to show her the wanted pictures, the sketches that Andy did.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen this man?
First, they show Leo's picture.
Mm-hmm. And, well, I think she knows Leo. So.
Right.
I think she'd probably feel more
So she's kind of like
betrayed.
blink one for yes, two for no.
Yeah, I think she'd feel more betrayed by Leo than afraid of Leo.
Yeah. So the
So
picture's kind of blurry at first as we see through Ronette's eyes as she tries to focus on the picture, which I thought was a cool camera idea.
Yep.
Because it just comes right at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty scary all zoomed in on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, nope, not Leo. Leo wasn't the one who killed Laura.
Nope.
Let's try sketch number 2.
Let's not.
Zan looks away.
I don't want to see sketch 2. That's the guy. I don't even need to see it. I just know it's him.
I will narrate then. So she focuses in, and it's Bob! Coming at you.
And Ronette makes the only...
Yeah, or Ronette basically just reacts really violently. And
this is the only appropriate reaction to this drawing.
Yeah, I call that a big yes.
I'm going to call that a big yes. Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Train.
Don't go there. Laura, no. All the things I said before, I'm saying
Phoebe Augustine does a really good job here.
She does a great job.
Yeah, she did a really good job with that.
Yep.
Oh, now we have Jerry with his smoked cheese pig.
Oh, I bought my friend Troy one of those for Christmas one year.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Have you tried it?
I don't know. I don't know if he ate it or not. It was
I meant, have you tried one?
No, it's
okay.
It's like just smoked provolone. Okay. So it's not that I haven't had before, but just I just
not your thing.
It was kind of funny because when I bought it, the guy said that like, well, it's been refrigerated, so it's a little bit smushed, but let it get to room temperature, and then you can like pull its legs out to look normal again. I was like, okay. That's kind of fascinating.
So here we have Ben and Jerry debating about which ledger to burn.
Well,
Jerry really wants to burn a ledger.
What should go in the fire? Either this ledger or my smoked pig.
Right.
I'll choose pig.
Yeah, and it's not going to be my pig.
Yeah, Jerry, you do realize that that's wax on there that you're about to bite into, right?
Well, he probably doesn't care. He's probably too stoned or something.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm high.
Yes. So we burn the real one. Or we could also burn the fake one. I don't know. Can I just eat the cheese, please?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just hungry.
Maybe it's just shiny. Maybe the wax is off.
I don't know.
Because he does bite into it.
That's true. He does bite into it. Yeah, the one I had, it was still covered in its wax. The one I bought.
It looks like we're 100% certain that we're not sure.
That's the one thing we can be sure of, is that we have no idea.
Words of wisdom from Jerry Horn.
That's pretty good. I have to say.
100% certain that we're not sure. Oh, now Ben has an alternative.
Yeah, this is even better idea.
Yep.
Toast some marshmallows.
Where are those hickory sticks? We used to roast Stay Puft marshmallows by the fire at Camp Wakanda.
Sorry, Venkman. Yep. I'm petrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
And Andy,
why can't you even use a roll of tape?
Andy looks like he was attacked by a tape dispenser.
Seriously. He's very stressed out about him and Lucy now.
And I like Major Briggs looking at him going, like Hank Hill on King of the Hill going, that boy ain't right.
Right. He's like, that is not Air Force material, gentlemen.
He's like, what the F? Come on.
At least my no good son plays football.
Exactly. You wouldn't see my kid with tape on his forehead.
No.
Oh, Luck Lady's got a dining companion.
I'll say this for the Major.
Yeah.
He might be extremely cold and kind of a pain sometimes, but he's seen a lot of things, and he's still very respectful to everyone he encounters.
Well, it seems like the Major has kind of like a Zen attitude about everything.
He really does.
I mean, he's so laid back, and he's dialed into all this weirdness.
I think you'd have to be,
Right.
you know,
That's it.
even
Maybe that's his
Cooper.
coping mechanism, that he just had to be like just so emotionally detached.
I think that's some of it's Cooper too. You know, I mean, Cooper's the
Yeah.
same way.
Right. Now, you think these two characters would have more scenes together because of just who they are,
Yeah, that's true.
but at least they have this scene.
Yeah. Achievement is its own reward.
Yep.
Pride obscures it. You
It's
gotta
a
hand it to the
it's a
major.
very good attitude to have,
Yeah,
especially for a military guy.
yeah. Especially somebody's that freaking decorated. Look
Right.
at him.
It's like no big deal. It's like like
Yeah, he'd probably be one of those guys that refuse the
yeah.
Purple Heart.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not into trinkets and accolades.
Exactly. He's not impressed by, baubles and
Nope.
shiny things on his chest.
But yeah, I have to hand it to the major. He's got
Yep.
he's very respectful of
He has his
everybody he comes in.
priorities straight.
Yeah, and like I said, he's respectful of everybody he comes in contact with.
Yep.
Even
Yeah, and he's
you
not
know,
like he's not talking down to the log lady here.
no, not at all.
And he's not dismissing her as a kook.
And that's his biggest problem, I think, with Bobby is his lack of respect for other people.
Right.
He doesn't want him. I can perfectly understand not wanting someone to smoke in my house and things like that. But
Right.
when you don't show any respect to anybody you're around, I think that's going to get under the major's skin a little bit.
So what I'd like to know is, who is the log lady's log translating for?
What do you mean?
Well, like deliver, like she's there to tell the major, deliver the message. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And she says it's coming from her log.
I'm assuming it's her husband.
But okay, so you think it's her husband?
Yeah, because he's sort of supernaturally in touch with the spheres.
Okay, but so who's telling her husband this?
Well, I think he's like part of the ether now since he's dead.
Lucy versus the Fly here.
Oh boy.
Help me! Help me! Andy still has a spool of tape on his forehead.
Oh, Andy.
Wah, wah.
Deputy Brannon.
Yeah, and Lucy's still being snotty to Andy.
It's
here we are. This is like the 9th episode of Twin Peaks.
Here he's going to stand up to her.
Or 10th or whatever. And
see, he's going to. The thing in his hair is adorable.
Yeah. Well, he's got this weird Ed Grimley hair to begin with. And then he's got this spool of tape on it.
I'm sterile. Sure, it meant I didn't have to take a bath.
Yep.
So Andy can't have babies.
Right. And so of course he's wondering, Lucy, why are you having one?
And how?
And Lucy's just like,
Lucy's been found out.
Yep. And she's not happy about it.
I'd be mad too if it was
she's going to
take.
So they kind of she tries to lean in like Andy thinks for a kiss. Rips that tape right off his forehead and slams the window shut.
This is why Lucy bothers me when it comes to this. She's all mad at Andy.
Yeah.
But she's the one that's been having an affair with Dick Tremaine in the, what was it, the sports department in the dressing room?
Yes. So here we have a deer head with the buck stops here. Or the buck stopped here. Excuse me. So, yeah. Get it?
Yep.
Comedy.
Oh, God.
And Hank is just waiting, like alone by himself in Harry's office, which I'm sure drives Harry nuts.
He's playing it awful close here, Hank. You're being kind of an ass.
Kind of. It's Hank.
Yeah,
he's always an ass.
Good point.
Thank you. So he can't even just sign in properly. He has to do this big like X on the folder.
Yeah.
I left my mark.
God.
And he's smiling as he does it.
I still have no idea how that's legally binding, but whatever. I gotta say though, as much as I can't stand Hank,
right.
I still hate Leo more.
Well, Leo's was more of a psychopath.
That's the thing. It's like Hank's a jerk.
And he's controlling.
Hank is a jerk, but he's no wife beater, you know.
Yeah, Cooper makes the observation. How long were you and Hank friends?
Yeah.
And we find out.
Hank used to be one of the Bookhouse boys. But
so he used to be. I want to know that story. We never got that story.
Seriously, like how did he go wrong?
So yeah, how did he go off the rails? That would be a good story to find out.
Seriously.
I'm sure there's fanfic about it.
Oh yeah, there probably is. Oh.
We see transferring Ben Horn to Harry on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so hold on.
In the Lucy way.
In the Lucy way, where we hear every possible step she's going to take.
Exactly. And she has to notify everybody of every step she's taking.
Yep. We all have to know Lucy's process. And see, you know, this is another thing that I like about Andy. It's like, you know, he can't have kids, but he wants to be with Lucy when she raises little Wally Brando.
Right. So. He was willing to, like, even if it wasn't his, to raise it. So it shows you what a good person Andy is. And Ben Horn just notified Harry that, oh, hey, Audrey's missing for like a couple days. I just thought
a couple of days. Yeah.
Maybe I should have called about this a little sooner. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should talk to somebody about that. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter is not around, and
yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. You know, I was thinking about it. No big deal. No big whoop.
Oh yeah, here we're talking about the insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
With Josie as the beneficiary and Catherine being missing, and Josie being missing, that makes Josie look even worse.
And of course, Catherine wouldn't sign it because of those irregularities that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Where she kind of tipped off and figured out what's what.
Yep.
Oh, and here's Leland.
Leland's
being a little too eager here.
Leland is 100% Bob right now. I don't think there's a speck of Leland in him at the moment.
Well, I think there is when he sees the wanted poster.
When he sees the wanted poster, yeah, right here.
Because I think... So we're watching Ben and Jerry talk to Einar, who just found out about the fire at the mill.
Yep.
Oh, Leland told him.
Yep.
Everybody gives Leland the side eye.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you did what?
Yeah, it will no way infect our development plans because the mill was in the way of our development plans.
Right, exactly. Because now the land's ready to be developed, so.
But I still think it's stupid because who's going to be able to afford this land?
Well, that's why
when there's nowhere to work.
Isn't that why it ends up becoming a prison? I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, Leland spies something on the table.
Who do we have here? This is not good.
And there's a whole range of emotions going on in Ray Wise's face right here.
Yep. Yep.
As he studies the photo.
It's like he's afraid because he knows who Bob is, but he's also angry because he knows Bob killed his daughter.
Yep. I know who this man is. He used to flick matches at me.
Here we have the backstory of how Bob came in to be Leland.
Yep.
Oh. Bob is sickening.
Yep.
He's so scary.
And at the same time, Bob is realizing that, hey, they're kind of getting close to him.
Right. Right. So we've got Leland terrified and furious.
So I think it's kind of both of them at that moment.
I think.
If we're playing Bob or Leland at home, I think it's both at this scene.
Right. Right. But I think he's definitely Bob trying to sabotage everybody with the Ghostwood plans, which is, it's fine. Go ahead.
Ben asked Jerry to kill Leland. Jerry, please kill Leland.
Oh, that's going to get taken care of soon enough, guys.
Yep.
Not that I want it to, but...
You don't have to wait too much longer for that.
No, it's just going to happen for you.
Spoilers, but
yeah. Well, I think after 20 years, spoiler alerts are.
Yeah, I think it's the statute of limitations is
Uh huh.
yeah. So
Statute of limitations.
Meanwhile, at Calhoun Memorial Hospital, Doc Hayward's kind of cluing Shelley in that Leo's a vegetable.
Mm-hmm. I could have told you that.
To be fair, Leo's always been a
Exactly.
vegetable.
Exactly. And this is and it's certainly helping Shelley because
Well, yeah, because it's like, hey,
she's
my
been so
abusive husband isn't a threat anymore.
well, she's been so terrified of him finding her or finding Bobby or what have you. And so this is so
she's kind of a little happy at this moment.
Yeah, she's at least he's at least not gonna.
But maybe she's a little sad here. I think that's genuine tears. Like maybe she's sad about what became of their relationship.
Stockholm syndrome.
That too.
There's a lot of options, and as
oh,
Pete Martell says, she's still my wife.
Here's a slow zoom in on Leo. Boo! Oh, wait. That would have been the moment for him to open his eyes. Go.
That would have been good. That would have been pretty good. But Leo still needs some time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't rebuild him. We don't have the technology.
And we really shouldn't. Let's be honest.
Yep. So this mysterious person who won't give his name is calling Lucy.
Oh, who could that be?
Hello, I'm calling from Windows. You have a problem with your computer and I need your credit card number.
Yeah. This is the IRS. The cops are on their way to your home right now, unless you pay me $1,000.
Exactly.
Night checks.
So that happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, One Eye Jacks, Emery is getting his toes done. That's a lovely shade, I must say.
Well, they do some light cleaning.
Yep.
So watch out for this one. He's weird.
Yeah. As if you couldn't tell by the vacuum fetish.
And I like how she's all like, I'm going to tell my father. And
yeah.
And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So Audrey's carrying in this ice bucket. Ice bucket challenge, everybody.
I don't even want to know what the hell is going on here.
Yes.
This could be a million things, and I don't want to know about any of it.
So if you're not watching this, and shame on you if you're not, but Emery is tied up on a chaise lounge.
He's backwards, his feet are up where your shoulders would normally be, and his head is where your foot would normally be.
And his arms and legs are tied, and he's got like toenail polish on, which is drying apparently because he has stuff wedged between his toes.
He's blindfolded. His ankles are tied to the top of the chair.
And
his wrists are tied and hung from the ceiling, and the prostitute that's in the room with him is vacuuming.
Yeah, it's like a squeaky vacuum as it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Squeaky.
Squeaky. Oh, it's just a little bit.
Now, apparently the ice bucket has a name, Frosty.
Aw.
His little snowman.
Oh my good lord. Emery Battis.
And Audrey is like revealing herself.
Mm-hmm.
By taking the vacuum cord and tying it around his neck, choking him.
See, she's trying to keep the upper hand, but she is in way over her head here.
She figures she's safe because he's all tied up.
But she keeps forgetting the fact that he's probably paid for that.
Right, and he'll get loose.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like he's not going to tell Blackie, oh, by the way, your new hooker is Ben Horn's daughter.
Yeah. I'm insane? I'm Audrey Horn. I get what I want.
I get what I want.
Whatever. I do what I want.
He's your father. He owns everything.
Yeah.
I run girls to the perfume counter. And yes, Laura came here. Yep. Yes, your father had sex with Laura.
Right.
Yes, you're going to be in therapy for the rest of forever.
Exactly.
Jeez. Yes, Laura knew it all.
So Audrey's getting the full lowdown about her skeevy father.
Yep.
And now Emery kind of gets back at Audrey a little bit by comparing her to Laura. And Audrey doesn't take that very well.
Which is sick and gross.
But accurate.
Still gross.
He does have a point.
But you don't. Yeah. I don't know when you're tied up and talking about.
I know it's hard to take
it
credibly. So Shelley's adjusting the radio in Bobby's car. So what do we have here? Oh yeah, this is the water. This is the well. Drink deep and descend.
Not yet.
That would have been cool though.
Oh yeah, $5,000 a month. Through insurance fraud to take care of Leo
Exactly. So this is Bobby's big insurance fraud scheme.
The problem is they're not realizing that $5,000 a month has to pay for all the crap that's keeping Leo alive. Mm-hmm. So Shelley winds up with a couple $100 by the end of it.
Yeah. So it doesn't turn out well, as we'll find out.
Yeah.
When Squiggy shows up.
That's right. It's Squiggy. I forgot about that.
Yeah. David Landers.
I think it's just one Lander.
Oh, is it David Lander?
I think so. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. Bobby's trying to work her, going, yeah, this is a great idea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to not to have to worry about money, but guess what? You do.
You're going to have to, because insurance fraud is no joke.
And then you're going to be stuck with like a quadriplegic.
With a vegetable Leo that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
And you guys realize what that means, right? Yep. Leo diapers. That's what that is.
Diaper duty.
Yeah, Leo diapers. It's not like he's Emery Battis here. It's not like he's going to enjoy that.
It's the full depends treatment.
Pretty much. Which, I think most spouses in loving couples would say fine, whatever it takes, but this is Leo.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that.
Now let's make out.
Like we just committed insurance fraud.
Exactly. Does insurance fraud get you hot, baby?
It totally gets me hot. Can't help it. Insurance fraud gets me hot.
You forgot something.
Oh, you forgot something. That thing right here.
It's right under you, and it's right by your foot. Damn it.
Just look down. Damn it.
Stop playing with your dictaphone. See what you did there?
I see what you did there. Nice one. Good job.
Thank you. So Cooper's talking a little creepily here about, I'm not thinking about clues. I'm thinking about Audrey's lovely smile.
Yeah, well, look under your freaking bed, Cooper.
And as a reminder, she's in high school.
She's 18, Diane.
You made a whole big thing about how you just wanted to be her friend, and here you are, like, you could be out looking for her.
Maybe this is David Lynch's way of saying he's thinking about her, and maybe we're going to find the note under the bed.
So, Major Briggs pays Cooper a visit.
I have a message for you. It's a very strange message.
Yes. It's very cryptic and enigmatic and perfect for this show.
And I can't tell you much about it.
But I have it on some sexy dot matrix printer.
Matrix printer. And when you're done with it, you can tear off the sides of the strips with holes that feed it into the printer, and you can make little crafts out of that.
Yeah, or you can wrap it around your finger and make it all spirally.
Yep.
Because you want to.
Make a giant, or as I went to high school with a guy that called those giant boingy things. Those little coily.
Yeah, the low coily things. Like springs. They look like
that were made out of dot matrix printer paper back in the day.
Yep.
See what kids these days are missing with their laser printers?
Yeah, exactly. All you millennials with your laser printers and jets and stuff, office jets.
Well, they didn't need to find something to do while they waited for the internet, so they didn't need to make giant boingy things. Friday morning, to be exact. There's a bunch of gobbledygook, except for this one little thing.
Yep. Around the time that I was shot.
Yep, exactly around the time that he was shot. Row after row of gibberish, and all of a sudden, Cooper.
It's almost like it's connected somehow.
The owls are
Those
not
are not
what
what
they
they
seem.
seem. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh, yes, the giant.
Ah, and the giant will always tell you the truth.
That.
Later in the morning, Cooper.
Yep, Cooper.
I just love the way he says that. Cooper.
Yeah, and then he goes, Cooper.
Cooper.
Cooper. Cooper. Cooper's got his, like, get the
Oh dear
F out
God,
of
no!
here
Oh dear
face.
God, no! No!
Yes, yep. Just you
Just
and
I mean, it's hard to.
So I
Maddie
want to
seems
know, okay,
extremely uncomfortable in this
they're
situation.
singing in front of microphones, and I'm like, why do they have the microphones? It's like, are they podcasting this? What's up with that?
I think they're recording it. He wants the effect.
But you don't see a recorder.
Well, then maybe it's a bad music video. I don't know. I think he wants the effect, the
Yeah,
wobbly effect with the vocals.
yeah.
Together,
Together
ever
forever.
in love. And it's funny. It's like I remember when this first aired, and I talked about this when we watched The Return, how much I disliked this song. And I think a lot of it was.
I kind of like this song. It's so simple and stupid, and I kind of like it.
A lot of it was, please just get on with it. Can we please figure out who killed Laura? And it just felt like a diversion that I wasn't particularly interested in. But then when James was at the Roadhouse and played it,
yeah,
I started to cry.
You got nostalgic.
I got very nostalgic about it. I was surprised.
It affected you more than you realized.
It did. It definitely did. And I felt like this whole thing just seemed very awkward.
Contrived.
No, it just seems. I mean, look at how Maddie just looks kind of.
Well, Maddie's kind of into it. She's closing her eyes. Donna's just like watching James, like not really into it.
I think she does seem kind of worried that James is gonna go for Maddie because she looks like Laura. I don't quite know what's going on here, but it looks like there's a lot of drama that Donna's creating for herself.
Well, it doesn't help that James, who James has always been cool, except for when he's flirting with another girl right in front of his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, it's
because he and Maddie kind of make eyes at one another.
Yeah, just a little bit. You think I look like Laura, don't you? Yes.
Yes, you look like a Laura Palmer.
Yes, I do.
Everybody thinks so, especially since you're not wearing your glasses that you broke intentionally.
And now you look even more like Laura Palmer.
Right. You just look like brunette Laura Palmer.
Kinda, yeah.
Go figure.
Yep.
But yeah, Maddie's kind of like into James at the moment.
Well, to which I want to say to Maddie, he's in high school.
It's the guitar. Chicks dig the guitar.
Oh, that is so true. It's every girl falls into that trap. Mm-hmm. Poor Donna.
Yep. She's like, wait a minute.
Because you know that the song was probably written for Laura.
Right.
And so here he is.
To someone who looks exactly like her. And Donna's kind of caught in the middle. So you almost kind of feel sorry for Donna until Donna becomes Donna. But
well, not
it's not a cool.
Now that we have started talking about Harold, you notice the amount of sympathy I don't have for Donna in anything anymore.
Exactly. So you're okay with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I'm not really broken up about it.
Nope.
And here's Maddie alone by the microphone as while Donna's feeding her insecurities.
Uh-huh. So
yeah. So
everybody out there in podcast land, Charles is going to tell you when it's over. Because I am officially no longer watching the show because I know what's coming.
Go on, you baby. So Donna's talking on the phone.
Maddie's
to
by
Harold
himself.
Smith. Yeah.
Don't deserve him. However,
She's
I
stealing
should
your
say
man.
too that
Yep.
Harold should also have known
No.
that Laura's in high school.
I do have kind of say that Donna kind of looks like a pumpkin in that big orange sweater.
She's got it's her Velma cosplay.
My glasses.
I'm blind without them. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
So
now,
I'm gonna just go ahead and look away now.
Yeah, so Maddie's looks over at the couch.
The couch.
And it's a great shot because it's taken
weird
from
about this is that
now,
this is Donna's house.
Yeah. Oh, and who's that creeping around the corner?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know. That's why I'm not looking.
It's Bob. Hi, Bob. How are you today?
My God.
And here's the cool. So Lynch is taking the shot, and he's like on the floor. So the couch looks huge, and Bob is climbing over the couch toward the camera. And he climbs over the coffee table, and he's right up in it. Ah!
And now Zan's gonna have nightmares, just like she did back in 1991.
I'm sorry, that is the creepiest moment on Twin Peaks.
That is incredibly fantastic how well they did that.
Lynch shot that so perfect, and the idea to have Bob come right at the camera until it gets dark because his face is obscuring it was so inspired and horrifying. Especially if you're like me when I was watching this late at night when it was dark, because now it's dark.
Now it's dark, yeah.
And I was just like, holy crap. So
crap.
Charles did not sleep well that night.
No, that is nightmare fuel right there.
Yep. So speaking of nightmare fuel, Cooper's having another dream.
He's having a dream.
The owls are not what they seem.
Are not what they seem.
Doodly, 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 doodly. And here's the giant, and here's Bob. And he's got an owl superimposed over his face. What can that mean?
What does that mean, I wonder?
And here's Sarah going down the stairs in slow motion, like she always does.
Laura? Honey, I'm not going to tell you again.
And here's Bob coming into focus, all smiling and laughing, having a good time.
And Cooper's going to get a phone call that reminds him that you forgot something.
Yes.
It's me, Audrey. I'm in way over my freaking head. Please come get me because I'm about to be forcibly addicted to heroin.
No,
Love
Audrey.
you.
No, Audrey. It can wait till morning.
No, it can't. Seriously, have you not noticed that I haven't been around flirting with you at breakfast for like a week now?
Oh, were you? I've been hanging with Albert. It's cool.
Damn it, Albert!
Oh, who just hung up on Audrey?
Oh, see? Emery Battis knows the owner, dumbass.
Yes. You thought it was just some guy, huh?
Yeah, no.
I told you I worked the perfume counter to get girls here.
I know who runs the place, and I know she's going to be really, really unhappy that the boss's daughter is here right now.
Trouble, Miss Horn? You don't know what trouble is. Not by a long shot.
Not by a long shot, and she's about to find out.
Yep.
It's not going to be good.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
But she did give Cooper some clues as to where she is. She said she saw him in his tuxedo, and he looked just like a movie star.
Right.
And Cooper's going to figure out that either she saw him leaving the hotel in a tuxedo, or she was at One-Eyed Jack's.
Right.
So hopefully he's going to figure it out pretty soon.
So that's our episode, everybody, for our episode commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a great one. I really like this episode.
Yeah, this is a good one because we're sort of we're learning things.
We're getting more puzzles pieces to the mystery.
Right, and things like, okay, this couldn't have been Leo Johnson.
Yeah.
Because he was in a coma when Jacques Renault was killed. So,
we're getting more hints that Laura's murder was more supernatural in origin.
Mm-hmm.
Because with all these characters like Pierre and Mrs. Tremond.
Uh-oh.
And,
yeah.
Yep. So
a lot of things are.
And with like Maddie having all these visions of Bob, and doesn't look good for her, does it?
No, it does not.
Nope.
Poor Maddie.
It is happening again.
It's happening again. Like I told you, and you still forgot something.
is happening again.
Nice.
But so what's your rating for this one?
My rating for this one, let's see. I'm going to do 8.5 rolls of Scotch tape that Andy can't use.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
I really go ahead.
And I'm saying 8.5 because I do like the episode, but I feel like it is kind of we're still getting in this part of like I feel like we're so close.
Well, it's kind of a middle episode.
Yeah, it's definitely a middle episode. It's definitely entertaining.
But it's not filler.
No, it's definitely not filler because we learn a lot of things and we learn a lot of information about the side stories, even the fact that Lucy's having an affair.
Right.
Even little things like that we're learning about. And I think
so things are advancing. The storyline is advancing here.
But I still have to listen to that stupid song.
Just you.
Just you.
And
I think there was something a little bit more poignant
forever.
and just something so melancholy about James singing it alone at the Roadhouse. And it was
I think what it was, I think he was remembering.
Yeah, and I mean, when you think about what happened when they all go into the conference room at the police station, and Bobby sees the prom picture, or the homecoming picture.
No, you're talking in the return now.
In the return, yeah, I'm talking about the return. And Bobby sees that homecoming picture, and he says, "Laura Palmer just brings back some memories," and you're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, it's like we sort of forget after a while that was his girlfriend."
Yes.
And then you think about, and when you see James later on, after we know what he's been through with the James Hurley saga and all of his bad decisions with the lady whose car he fixes and is about to murder her husband.
Yeah.
All the stuff that he went through, and that he's back here just trying to be a guy. And if he'd had his way, he would have been probably, maybe he'd had his way, he probably would be married to Laura.
Right. That would have been his ideal scenario.
Yeah, and they probably would have built a house.
Like Laura would have got her act together, and they could have ran off and had a bunch of kids,
and and he would have, they would have built a house on property that Ed owns or something like that, and they would
James could have fixed cars for a living or bikes or whatever.
Or he would have helped Ed, expand the gas farm.
Yeah.
Things.
Franchise.
Franchise it just like Norma did with the Double R.
Yeah.
Things like that. And since that couldn't happen, then probably his next thing would to have been to, be with Donna and, have a family like hers, and where they, where maybe they would go see Gersten play when she came into town and stuff like that. But none of that happened. And we all know that that the lives of everybody involved in singing that song in this episode wound up to be very tragic.
Well, there were very few happy endings in Twin Peaks.
Very, very few happy endings in Twin Peaks. And the fact that he's singing that song just makes you think, like, that's James. I mean, that's James. He's just holding out hope that, that he'll find some good things. And I think that's what...
Or he's just, mourning still of what could have been.
And I'm not even making a qualifier as to who it could have been with. It's what could have been in general.
Right.
And so I think that's part of why I like it more when it's James alone on the stage at the Roadhouse. But this whole like in my living room and that kind of, it's just sort of like this song kind of got on my nerves when I first heard it.
Now, what about do you appreciate that scene more now than you did when you first watched it?
I do. I definitely do, because
putting it in context, because you know what happens to James and how that turns out.
Yes, I do. I definitely do.
All right. That's fair.
And I always appreciated the scene because of the appearance of Bob in it.
Right, because it was it's a pretty terrifying, horrific moment.
Where you have this moment of these teenagers just getting together and doing this little song, and then it goes bad because they're sort of in their own drama, And then
Zan gets traumatized by Bob, and
then it's sort of this lesson from the world that says you kids have no idea what bad really is. It's
right.
There's so many worse things in the world than your boyfriend thinking that the girl who looks like his ex-girlfriend is kind of cute.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so much worse out there in the world.
Well, when you're that young, then
when you're that young, all you do is live in your own created drama.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
That's very true.
That's what being a teenager is that you're full of drama, and
that's your job.
Everything is important.
Everything is important. Everything holds so much more meaning. That's the job of a teenager, is to be filled with drama.
And it's only when you get to like as old and decrepit as me, where you have some miles on you.
Right, when you have some miles and some cynicism.
I don't think I'm cynical. Do you think I'm
saying
cynical?
I do.
You're cynical. You're cynical.
I'm very cynical.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm cynical.
Well,
I try not to
be.
I try not to be.
That's good, because when you grow up, your heart dies.
Exactly. Well, sleep well, kids. No.
I hope everybody's had a lovely evening.
Yeah. I should point out that Zan said she was kind of a bad mood before we started recording.
I was kind of in a bad mood. That's true.
Yeah, so let's put a little context around that, shall we?
And when I think about poor Harold, just makes me mad.
Donna
angry,
shakes fist.
Donna.
All right, as for me, I like this episode because there's the Bob scene alone is creepy as all get out. I love the fact that Major Briggs is in play, who's someone I really didn't expect, and I'm like, I just wanted to know more about Major Briggs from this moment on. And so he becomes this really interesting character, and the whole scene with the Mrs. Tremont and Pierre, I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it a 9. 9 squeaky vacuum cleaners.
Oh, how perverted!
Yeah, thank you. Oh, it's me. So.
Well,
Yeah. Well, you go with your strengths, I guess.
You gotta consider the source material.
Exactly. Sorry. Yeah. I'm really raising the bar, aren't I? Yes, I know.
Yeah, you are. That's good.
I was going to go with that or handfuls of cream corn.
Gross.
Yeah, so I went with the squeaky vacuum cleaners.
That's the thing, is that the squeaky vacuum cleaner is only perverted because we just watched this episode. Squeaky. Handfuls of cream corn are disgusting no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. I feel kind of bad for Austin Lynch that he had to have his hands full of that stuff cupped together. Well,
when your dad makes sculptures out of moldy mashed potatoes,
that's true.
You're probably used to that kind of crap going on.
Yeah, that's a Saturday night dinner for us.
You're like, you know what? Thank God it's not moldy.
That's true.
You're probably just thinking, hey, at least it's clean.
Exactly. It's like it's fresh out of the can. It's good. No big deal.
Yep,
no big
fine.
whoop. Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. I want to talk about, before we sign off, we got some iTunes feedback a while back.
Oh, great. Okay.
That I wanted to read because just happened to notice it. And I was like, oh, yeah, we should have read this.
Cool.
It's pretty short. It's feedback from, quote, longtime Prince subscriber. Whoever longtime Prince subscriber is out there.
Well, whoever it is somebody after my own heart.
Yep. So, longtime Prince subscriber writes in and posts with the subject, keeping the fire going, and gave us 5 stars. So
thank you, longtime Prince subscriber.
Yeah, cheers for that, longtime Prince subscriber. In the body of the post is, thank you, Charles and Zan, for your great podcasts and for going back for a rewatch of the original series! !
Excellent.
You're very welcome. It's so much fun.
I'm glad you're having fun with us because we're having fun doing it.
Yes, we are. I really enjoy listening, and I hope you keep going and maybe throw in a few deep dive analysis episodes from time to time.
Oh, well, okay.
So
twist my arm.
Yeah, so maybe they're kind of like hinting at us like, hey, maybe we want to do some analysis stuff for a break.
Twist my arm.
Maybe we could do that after our 50th episode.
Ooh, I like your thoughts on milestones, Charles.
Yeah, but also because it breaks in a really good place.
That's true, it will.
Yeah,
it really will.
I actually counted this out, and our 50th episode is a big one. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And without spoiling it for those who haven't watched. But if you've watched, you kind of, and you can do the math, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Prince Subscriber continues. He says, keep up the great work, or she. Love the show, smiley face.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, longtime Prince Subscriber. That's a mouthful.
And thank you for being a longtime Prince Subscriber, because, Prince.
Yep. Prince apparently isn't dead. So
he's never going to die as long as his music still lives.
Not Prince. Print.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Print, yes. As in that key you push.
As in that thing that you do?
Yeah, that thing. But, if you want to be like longtime Prince Subscriber, and you really should, because we'd love to get your feedback. Hopefully you're enjoying Ghostwood.
Yeah.
So you could post us a review on iTunes, and we'll be happy to read it if you'd like. And just let us know what you think of the show. Hopefully you like it, or stuff you want to see from us in the future. That would be cool, too. You can do that on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, of course. Or you can drop us a line on Twitter at GhostwoodCast. We'd love to hear from you there. Or you can email us, the old school email, at ghostwoodpodcast@gmail.com. The Gmail.
A Gmail.
The Gmail. So, the Gmail. So
you should get that. You should get that soundbite.
I should.
Just the email one, because
I'd have to track it down because there's so many Homestar Runner episodes.
Seriously.
But if I could find it, if somebody knows which episode it is, that would save me a lot of work.
Isn't it one of the menus?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Remember it.
I guess I know what we're going to do after podcast tonight.
Go through the strongbed.exe DVD.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you there. And of course, you want to follow us on Facebook, because I post things like the Chad music video.
Yep.
And Zan posts all kinds of cool stuff as well.
I do my best.
You do great.
To put the Twin Peaks related stuff in there, by the way.
So yeah, please follow us on Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast on the Facebook.
Yep.
Or Twitter, or all the Apple Podcasts and all that stuff. So, Zan, where can they reach you on the interwebs?
I am on the Twitters and on the Instagrams.
Yes.
As Udinax19.
Excellent.
What about you, Charles?
Of course, on the Twitters at Charles Skaggs, or the Instagram at Charles Skaggs. Facebook, of course, at Charles Skaggs in Hilliard, Ohio. Or my blog of geeky things.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee and hot, where I talk about all kinds of things like the Ghostwood or Twin Peaks, or my other podcasts I do for Southgate Media Group, including Next Stop Everywhere, the Doctor Who podcast, which is going gangbusters right now because we have the new Doctor, Jodie Whittaker.
Got a new doctor.
And she's really good. As we have our new partner in time, Karen Lindsay, who has just joined the show full time.
Really?
Yep, because we needed a good female perspective, I thought. And
okay.
Karen has appeared on the show before, so we were more than happy to make her a full-fledged partner in time.
Well, that's nice.
So check out Next Stop Everywhere, because we got our all-new theme music and new logos and stuff, and we regenerated everything for this new era.
And new things for misogynists to hate?
Yeah, well, we don't talk about them.
Good, because they don't deserve to be talked about.
They don't have a place on our podcast. We only support those who actually don't live in 1963 anymore. They live in 2018. We're funny that way.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. So, and who are okay with the idea of a fictional alien being able to regenerate into a woman. We're weird like that. My
only thing that I thought was interesting about that was how. It just made me wonder about, maybe they'll explain more about the Gallifreyan biology.
Well, they did. They actually, they've
And
had,
I
they've
haven't
had,
watched it yet, so
yeah,
but
well,
that was my only question. Like, wow, this is interesting. How are they going to explain that?
Yeah, during Peter Capaldi's era, especially, they had male Time Lords regenerating into female Time Lords, or vice versa. So that they kind of established that it could be done. Like, for one thing, the Master regenerated into Missy, played by Michelle Gomez.
Yes, that's right.
So obviously, it wasn't unheard of by the time.
It's not unheard of, but yeah, I
they
just
set
thought it was.
Up, but now it's happened to the Doctor. So, and Jodie Whittaker is actually really good, guys. So give a little, just a kind of. I know it's not the Doctor Who podcast, so I won't go into it too much, but you should check it out. I recommend it.
I always liked Jodie Whittaker from Broadchurch.
Broadchurch, yes, exactly.
So,
and she played such a very serious kind of mopey character.
So different.
But completely different on Doctor Who. So if you're like kind of a little prejudiced because of watching her on Broadchurch, she's nothing like that character. She actually has range. And she's very energetic. Great comedic timing, too.
Cool.
So definitely recommend it. And we're going through the episodes weekly, reviewing those. And then, in addition to that, Titan Talk, the Titans podcast that I do with Jesse Jackson, who's also on Next Stop Everywhere. We talk about the DC Universe series Titans. And the first episode of that actually featured Sherilyn Fenn. So there's your Twin Peaks connection right there.
Hey, there we go.
So it actually is kind of relevant. So,
yeah, that works.
Hooray.
And before we started podcasting, I was talking to Charles about how I was up until 6:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Finishing Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah. So
on Netflix.
Apparently Zan's really digging that. And apparently I need to check that out.
I'm really digging it. And for those of you who have seen the original black and white movie, there's a cameo throwback to that movie.
Oh, really?
And an obvious Twin Peaks reference here as well.
I need to check that out then.
Yeah, it's Russ Tamblyn makes a cameo.
That's right. You told me that.
And he was in the original movie.
Dr. Jacoby. Oh, I didn't realize he was in the original.
Yeah, he's in the original. So it's like, he's unfortunately.
I haven't watched the original in a long time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's only one other cast member that's still with us besides Russ Tamblyn.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, we were watching it and we're like, is that Russ? Oh my God, that's Russ Tamblyn.
So there you go. You can watch Sherilyn Fenn in Titans, or you can watch Russ Tamblyn on
playing
the Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, also playing a psychiatrist. So.
Oh, he's a psychiatrist there as well.
Yep.
But no 3D glasses.
No, so he's a little hard to recognize at first.
No coconuts.
No coconuts, no 3D glasses, no giant headphones.
No shovels, golden shovels.
Nope.
Well, what's the point then? I don't
know. You know where your freedom is?
Yep.
So, yeah. But
those miserable F's are at it again.
They're at it again. So
and then my other podcast, the Phantom Zone podcast I do with Karen as well, where we talk about all the comic book TV shows that are out there. We do about 4 episodes a week in about an hour and a half or so. And obviously lots of comic book shows are back in business now, so I'm busy there too. So
seriously,
all that stuff for the Southgate Media Group. So please support Rob Southgate and the Southgate Media Patreon page. That helps us keep the lights on.
Check out their Patreon, because if you like geeky podcasts and you're thinking, what should I listen to next?
Yep.
That Patreon will tell you who you need to go to.
I just rattled out 3 other geeky podcasts.
Exactly. Yeah. You got plenty of options.
Yep. So obviously, I'd love for you to check out mine, but if you don't, that's cool. I understand. I won't take it personally. I'll try not to anyway.
Just blame the Teen Titans. It's their fault.
It always is.
It's not you. It's not you.
It's them.
It's the Titans. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Well, that's why I got married, because it's the Titans.
That's right.
Which is a true story, by the way. That's how my wife Lori and I met, was because of the Titans. So. True,
adorable story.
Yeah. So next time on Ghostwood, we're going to talk about The Man Behind Glass, the 3rd episode from season 2.
Yeah.
And that should be promising as well.
We're going to meet Harold.
That's right. We get to, and this is before he rakes his face all up.
Yep. Before
Donna.
Before Donna takes advantage of him.
And screws him up even more.
Just that, I mean,
Donna!
Spoiler alerts, but what she does is she takes advantage of the fact that she knows he won't leave the house. So they screw with him the same way they screw with Dr. Jacoby, and I'm not saying that they're why he had a heart attack. I'm just saying it didn't help anything.
Right. But it's probably them, too.
It's Leo beating the shit out of him.
all their little Scooby-Doo shenanigans.
All their little Scooby-Doo shenanigans. Donna needs to knock this off.
You damn meddling kids.
She's the one that's dating Kyle MacLachlan in real life. She should know to trust Agent Cooper to do his job.
Well, she was dating him.
Yes, at the time she was dating.
Yeah, at the time she was, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Didn't work out in the long run.
Oh, speaking of Kyle MacLachlan and other tangential Twin Peaks things.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody else besides me out there grew up reading John Belair's books, but Kyle MacLachlan is in The House of the Clock in Its Walls. So
that's right. You told me
I have to go ahead and recommend that to John Belair's fans or just fans of Kyle MacLachlan or Cate Blanchett or anyone. I think it's I had a good time with it. I'd read the book and I had a good time watching it.
MacLachlan's always fun to watch, no matter what he's in.
He's always good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you watch him on Portlandia or all his old movies like Dune or Blue Velvet.
Or even Sex and the City. I mean, he's why I started watching Sex and the City. I mean, full disclosure.
Right.
And then John Corbett is why I kept watching.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's why I watched him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's really good there,
that's
too.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yep. He plays Mr. Hyde.
Oh, yeah.
Supervillain. So that's what we're going to be doing next time. We're going to be coming back in 2 weeks. Zan, anything else before we head out? No?
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Yeah, go watch some, like Haunting of Hill House.
Watch some Haunting of Hill House. Just watch any horror movies,
Yep.
And, give out the good candy. Don't give out brushes.
Watch a lot of Bob-centric episodes of Twin Peaks. That's scary.
That's the scariest thing you could possibly do in any season of any month.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like this episode would be a good, definitely qualifier, I think.
So freaking scary.
It is scary. All right. So thanks everybody for listening, and we will see you next time right here on Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.